What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Malik's Water Garden. In today's video, we're going to look at some of the questions you guys have about fish nutrition. How much food should I feed my fish? How often should I feed my fish? And should they be getting a day off or a couple of days off? Should they be fasting once a week? And what types of food should I be feeding my fish? Now, this is a very diverse topic. I have an entire video that's an hour long that is talking about all the different foods I feed my fish. Highlights all the different types of food I have in the fish room, as well as what fish gets fed what types of food. I highly recommend you check that video out if you haven't. I'll put a link to it up here as well as at the end of this video. Now, in today's video, we're going to look at some basic stuff, which is what type of food to feed your fish, how to feed, how much to feed, and how often to feed. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, subscribe down below and hit that notification icon so you get updated when these type of videos get uploaded. I upload quite regularly now, and you get a video almost every single day, pretty much every day now. In today's video, we're going to look at how to feed our fish. First thing I'm going to say is feed an appropriate type of food. If your fish are predominantly carnivorous, feed a food that has a lot of animal protein content, a lot of fat, and a lot of nutrition in that values that animal requires to sustain its life long term. If your animal is an omnivorous animal, which is the case for most animals, feed a diet that has both animal proteins as well as a lot of green material, and a balanced diet of many different types of food that animal can readily accept and digest without any issues. Also, feed a high quality food. The reason I always say to feed a high quality food is if you are feeding a high quality food, your animal does not require to eat a lot to get full. It's just like us. If you're eating junk food, you could eat a ton of it and you would not feel full because it has very little nutritional value. But it does have a lot of calories, so you will end up gaining a lot of weight. Now, this is the same thing for our fish as well. If you are feeding low grade fish food, you're going to be ending up giving your fish a lot of food that doesn't have a lot of nutritional value but a lot of caloric value, and the fish are just going to continue to eat and gain more and more weight without actually being healthy. And so you're going to have overweight fish, you're going to have bloat, digestive issues, all these things. So you want to monitor your fish, especially with plecos and stuff. Look at them and see these guys just ate. You can see nobody's bulging, nobody has a huge rounded stomach. Everybody just seems normal. You want to feed these other types of fish, you want to feed them something that they can eat within a few minutes. It's better to feed several times in smaller amounts than to feed a lot of food in a larger amount. Now, with tetras and rasboras and stuff, you really want to be careful, as well as even goldfish, in how much you feed and what types of food, because they can develop swim bladder issues. Especially with goldfish, a lot of goldfish can develop a lot of swim bladder issues and stuff if you feed them improper diet, a diet that has a high protein content and less vegetable content. Now, this is not the case for all types of goldfish. Especially when they're younger, you do want to feed them a lot of high protein food to get them growing, as well as the special types of goldfish that have fancy heads and stuff. You want to feed them high protein food, but you want to stay away from feeding them high fat food. So that's something to consider as when they're young. But as they get older, you want to feed them predominantly green materials and some animal protein. Now, these are things to consider based on the different species of fish, but predominantly with all types of fish, you want to stick to feeding a high quality diet that the animal can readily digest. So if it's a herbivorous animal, feed them a lot of green material. Try not to feed a lot of stuff that comes from that are land-based foods. What do I mean by that? Like, I'm always against feeding your fish things like cucumbers, sweet potatoes and stuff like that, because I believe that the risk that you're taking is greater than the reward you're going to get for the fish. The fish definitely do get something out of eating a lot of these green materials, especially if it's a vegetarian fish or a fish that herbivorous fish that requires a lot of vegetable content in its food. But the problem is a lot of these foods can be grown with pesticides, could have things that are not harmful to humans per se, but could be harmful to our marine environments. So you don't want to really put things out of your fridge into your aquarium if you haven't grown it yourself or bought it from a very reputable and reliable organic store. So having said that, you want to stick to things that are more grown in water for marine animals, especially for animals that live in water. You don't really want to feed soy and stuff like that, or cornmeal and stuff like that, because it's not something that these animals will never ever come into contact with. And soy is definitely not healthy for anybody, so definitely stay away from things that have soy or cornstarch, I would say. That also helps maintain clean water as well. Feeding high quality food definitely helps maintain clean water, I believe, because the amount of waste that is produced when you feed high quality food, the animal digesting majority of the food as well as producing less waste on it, is a benefit to you, and reduces your maintenance requirements on yourself. So that's another benefit that you can definitely get from feeding a high quality food. Also, you want to give your fish a day off or a couple of days off once a week or once every other week, so that they have time to pass out all the stuff in their stomachs. Give them a 24-hour fasting period. I try to get, today was actually supposed to be my day that I was supposed to fast all my plecos, and I broke down and I fed them. So it's kind of hard for me. This is something I really struggle with, is to not feed them one day. But even then, they are quite fine right now, so I'll probably give them a day off tomorrow. What I like to do is, when I have the day off for them, I like to feed them a green food the next day. Something that has a lot of green material. I would say spirulina tablets are great for this purpose. Kelp wafers are great. I feed them that, and they seem to go to town on it because they're hungry from the day before, and then it really flushes all their gut content out the next day, and you can find piles and piles of green poop in the sides of the tank, which is great for me because now I know my animals are healthy and their guts are healthy, that they're passing everything that they're eating, and nobody's collecting food and suffering any bloat or any issues with indigestion issues. So that's something to consider as well. Always monitor the health of your fish. Always look to make sure that, especially for plecos and stuff, that they are not bulging up from the bottom. If they are, then you have to reduce the feeding as well. You want to give them some more green materials to pass out some of that excess food, and also find out what they're supposed to be eating and feed them an appropriate diet. For example, if animals that require meat content in their diet, feed them more predominantly meat content, and if the animal requires omnivorous diet, feed them predominantly omnivorous foods, and if the animal is predominantly insectivore, feed them predominantly insect based foods. All these types of foods are available for us now, and there's a lot of specialty foods available, so you can always pick and choose what food you want to feed based on your particular animal's requirements. Now, having said that, the other thing I want to say is, you want to have additional materials like sand and stuff. Really helps with digestion in some of these animals, so you want to have sand in your tanks. Wood is supposed to be helpful, although we are finding out that the animals are not eating the wood to get any digestive material out of the wood. They are not digesting the wood per se. There's a lot of research that has been done to prove this now, and we are finding out now that the animals just eating the wood as a substitute to get what's in the wood into their stomach, as opposed to just getting the wood into their stomach. So this is something we're going to look into more detail in coming videos. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe down below, hit that notification icon so you get updated when that type of videos get uploaded. So what else can I say? They do require a very balanced diet, and feed a variety of food. I would say, don't feed the same kind of food. Don't be lazy. Feeding a variety of food does not cost you any more money than feeding one type of food. If you have 20 types of food and you're feeding the 20 types of food every other day or every day, then your food will run short. If each one of those containers of food will last 20 times as long. So you're not spending any more money by feeding a variety of food. That's why when you see like all this food and you ask me how much money I spend on food, I actually just bought a new container of Tetra Tropical Color Granules, and on Amazon it showed me that I bought my last Tetra Tropical Color Granule container on December the 9th. So exactly 6 months ago or 7 months ago is when I bought the last container of Tetra Tropical, and it's just finishing today. So I still have like maybe a little bit left in there, which I'm feeding to my discus, and so it doesn't cost me a lot in that sense. Those containers are $25, and it lasted me 6 months. Now I have 20 of these other types of containers, so like probably on food I probably spend 40 to 50 bucks a month, give or take, maybe a little bit less. But if I'm buying only one new type of food every month, so I have foods that I bought 2 years ago. I have some stuff that I have to finish feeding now because I've actually had this food for almost a year and a half, 2 years, because I bought a 5-pound bale, and it's almost done now, so I'm not too concerned. But my point is, when you're buying a lot and you're feeding a variety of stuff, it doesn't cost you a lot. The food lasts you a lot longer individually, so you don't have to worry about it, and it doesn't cost you any more than feeding one type of food. So feed a variety of food. That's something to really consider, and really helps out, I think. And if you don't overfeed, feed what the animal can eat within a few minutes. I believe that's a really big thing. Except for plecos, you really want to give them something that they can munch on for an hour or so. But even with plecos, you don't want to put food that is going to sit in your tank overnight. People always ask, can I leave my veggies in the tank overnight? If your fish is not going to eat that food within an hour or two, then you're overfeeding the tank, and you're fouling your water. And please stay away from stuff out of your fridge unless you've grown it yourself, because you don't know what you're putting into the tanks. There's times when you could buy something that could have farm chemicals, pesticides and stuff like that, that is not considered harmful to us because we're such a large animal, but can be detrimental to your aquarium water systems. So you really don't want to put these farm chemicals and pesticides into your aquarium by putting something that's out of your fridge into your fish tank. So this is something I really always recommend people to stay away from, is to feeding stuff that is not designed for fish. Feed your fish food as much as possible, unless you're a very experienced fish keeper and you really know what you're doing. At that point, then you are at your own discretion feeding these animals or what it is that you are feeding them. Now, having said that, I do feed cucumbers, not cucumbers, but zucchinis to my fish. I know a lot of people are going to probably just go up in arms because I am always against feeding zucchini. The only time I feed zucchini to my fish is when I grow them in my own yard. And right now I do have, I think, 4 zucchini plants that I'm growing. And when they do come into fruit, God willing, I will be feeding that to some of my plecos very sparsely. One, because my plecos are not very big on vegetables, and two, I don't really like feeding vegetables to my plecos because I have mostly predominantly meat eating plecos, and yeah, it fouls my water too fast. It just doesn't work for me. And I like to feed fish food, so prepared fish food is the way to go, I believe. But if you do want to make your own fish food, you can. There's a lot of different recipes online. I'm not going to get into that. It's just not my forte. I like to feed prepared fish food. I find better success with that because it's easier for me. I have a full-time job. I maintain this facility while working full-time, and the less work I have to do, the better it is, and buying the food just really works for me. So that's what I gotta say for you guys. If you have anything that you want to add to it, or if you think I missed anything, or if you have any questions, comment below and let me know. I would love to share talk more about this, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. And so share what your thoughts are on this whole topic, and we'll get into that into upcoming videos if you guys want me to get more into this topic. As always, thank you so much for your support. I love you all. I'll see you on the next video. God bless.